What if the thing everyone is losing their minds over in Wuthering Waves, this whole censorship scandal, isn't about shackling creativity at all? What if it's actually a quiet signal that something deeper, something organic might be coming our way? We've got this image of gacha games burned into our heads, right? Shiny anime PNGs, a dopamine hit from pulling your waifus or husbandos, and a wallet that is crying harder than a main protagonist in an episode 12 of an anime. But what if a little age rating bump could flip that script? But it means stories that don't just tug at our heartstrings, but actually leave a mark. One that makes us think about the world, about loss, about what it means to fight for something. Yeah, I know. It sounds like I'm reaching here, but hear me out. Thank you for ldshop.gg for sponsoring this video, where you can get Lunite and other in-game purchases at a discount, starting from 10% off. I personally got the Lunite subscription and the premium battle pass using LD Shop, and the process was really smooth. Not only is LD Shop safe and legit, but they also have tons of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, so you know you're in good hands. How do you top up Wuthering Waves at LD Shop, you may ask? Now let me guide you. First, you go to ldshop.gg, you select your language and your currency, and then log in. Then you choose what you want, Lunite subscriptions, battle passes, or whatever, and enter your game account details. For an easier top-up, I recommend you guys to bind your email to the Kuro game account. Pick your preferred payment method and complete the transaction, and then you wait and check the order center to confirm that they're done with it, and then you can hop to Wuthering Waves and enjoy your new Lunite or whatever you just bought. Plus, new users get a 10% off coupon with an extra 5% discount. You can save up to $50 on your first purchase, and if you're planning a big splurge, spending over $80 in a single month gets you a VIP membership, which includes a 30-day Lunite subscription, basically a free Lunite just for topping up. If you're looking to pull for your favorite resonator but you don't want your wallet to suffer, LD Shop has your back. Click the link in the description and start saving today. Now let's get back into the video. In early April 2025, April 9 to be exact, the game's Google Play Store rating jumped from 12 plus to 16 plus. No warning, no fanfare, just a quiet update that lit a match under the community. And by the next day, Twitter, Reddit, and Discord were flooded with posts. And it wasn't just idle chatter, players were dissecting every pixel. And the big flashpoint? Cantarella. The game's newest character got a wardrobe tweet. In my opinion, the outfit is still pretty revealing, but a little detail got tweaked, and that's it. If you squint at before and afters, it's not exactly a nun's habit, right? It's not like she's innocent all of a sudden. Still, it was enough to spark a firestorm. And here's the kicker. Kuro Games hasn't dropped a single clear word about why the rating changed. No blog posts, no dev streams, nothing. And the timeline is wild too. April 9, the rating shifts, right? April 10 and 11 is like the fandom split into subgroups of the Kurobot tribe. The community's got no solid answers, and that vacuum is fueling the chaos. Now, I'm not here to fan the flames just yet. I want us grounded before we start poking at what this all means. The facts are simple. The rating is 16 plus now. One character's design got a minor edit, and Kuro is staying quieter than your dad leaving to buy milk. But the question remains, why is everyone so mad? And is there more to this than meets the eye? Why is this game catching so much heat when it's not even the worst fan service in the genre? The age rating systems for these games feel like it was drawn out of a hat, and Wuthering Waves seems to be stuck holding the short straw. Let's take 𝗖cie for example. That game's got character designs that make you wonder if the camera angle is the real protagonist, yet it is chilling at a 12 plus rating on Google Play. Or even Brown Dust 2, where some character outfits are basically a suggestion rather than clothing, and it is still 12 plus. No questions asked. And then you've got Wuthering Waves, where the design are, let's be real, pretty tame in comparison. Cantarella's tweak was literally just a line, not exactly a leap to Purity Town, is it? So why is it slapped with a 16 plus rating when others skate by? 𝗖cie is out here with jiggle physics that could cause earthquakes, but Wuthering Waves get the side-eye. I mean, come on bro, the double standard is glaring. I'm not saying Kuro Games is a victim here, but the math ain't mathing. If suggestive content is the issue, then why aren't the usual suspects getting the same treatment? It feels like Wuthering Waves is being held to a rule book nobody else has to read. Now I get it, ratings aren't just about outfits. There's a bigger picture here, and I think we're missing it by hyper-focusing on this one change. Gacha games at its core have a mechanic that has been raising eyebrows for years. And it's not just about cleavage or story beats, it is about that sweet addictive pull system. You know the drill. Drop some cash, roll the dice, and pray that you snag that shiny new character. Except unlike an actual casino where you might walk away with a few bucks, all you're getting here is a digital sticker, a PNG of an anime character that to anyone outside our bubble is about as valuable as a screenshot of somebody else's NFT profile picture. Wuthering Waves runs on this system, just like every other gacha game. You spend, you pull. You either flex your new unit or cry over your 20th duplicate of Staff of Homa.
I don't want to have... Here we go! Please, Staff of Homa! Please! I just want one, bro! I just want one! Please! God! Just give me one step home, man. I just want to make content for my boys. Yeah!
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
And yet, this genre raked in $17 billion in 2024. Billion with a B. That is not pocket change, my guy. That is a global obsession. But here's the wild part. Games like 𝗖liche and Genshin Impact with the exact same gambling DNA are sitting pretty at 12+ ratings. Nobody bats an eye. We are cool with kids blowing their parents' money on virtual slot machines. But a slightly less spicy outfit? Oh no, that's where we draw the line. The sarcasm is thick, but the point holds, right? Why is Wuthering Waves getting dragged for a rating hike when the real questionable stuff, microtransactions dressed up as gameplay, is standard across the board? And I'm not here to preach that gacha is evil or anything. We all play these games. We know the thrill of a lucky pull. But if we're gonna talk about what's appropriate for players, maybe the conversation should start with systems that have us chasing pixels with real money, not with whether a character's outfit passes the morality test. But honestly, the rating drama feels like a distraction when you step back and look at it. Are we making a mountain out of a molehill? I mean, the fandom is acting like Kuro Games burned their entire vision to the ground, but when you squint at what is actually happening, it is kind of a nothing burger. The outrage feels like it's running on fumes. Lots of heat, not much substance. I mean, look at what we're actually dealing with here. One character, Cantarella, got a slight wardrobe adjustment. We're talking a bit more fabric, not a full-on redesign that strips her vibe. There is no sign of the story getting gutted, no gameplay systems being flipped upside down, nothing that screams, the game you loved is dead. Oh, the game is going to EOS in 3 months. What? Yet the community is split like your mom's legs on my bed last week. Some folks are straight up apocalyptic. The death of creativity, they said. Like Kuro is torching their own art. But others, they're already dreaming of what a higher rating could bring, tossing around ideas about grittier plots or bolder stakes. It must be confusing for casual players to be in these spaces, right? But here's my take. The backlash is loud because we're filling in the blanks ourselves. Without Kuro saying anything, it is easy to assume the worst. CCP meddling, a sanitized future, you name it. But based on what we know, it is a minor tweak, not a declaration. And those players that are hoping for a better story, they might be onto something. What if we're so busy raging that we're missing a chance for Wuthering Waves to actually skyrocket in terms of quality? Have you been asking, like, what is this 16+ rating actually good for? Now, I'm not gonna lie, part of me gets why fans are side-eyeing it, right? But hear me out. This could be Wuthering Waves' shot to break out of the gacha mold and deliver a story that doesn't just dazzle us with pretty visuals, but actually leaves us shook. The game has already got this haunting post-apocalyptic vibes, ruined cities, a world clawing back from the brink in the earlier patches. A 16+ rating isn't just a number here, it's a green light to lean into that darkness, to tell stories that don't pull punches. I mean, think about what this could mean. Moral gray zones where your choices make you question yourself. Societies crumbling under their own weight, not just because a big bad showed up, characters who don't always make it to the credits, if you know what I mean. Not for cheap shock, but to show what is really at stake. Wuthering Waves has the bones for this. Its lore already hints at loss and grit. A higher rating could let Kuro flesh that out, maybe even tackle war or betrayal. If 16+ means that we get a story that doesn't baby us, I am all in for that. Now let's look at the game that has already walked this path, Limbus Company. It is rated 18+, and their players love this game, not just for the waifus, but for its story. Reddit threads with thousands of upvotes call it the gold standard. Characters die, choices hurt, and the world is this brutal, twisted place where hope is earned, not handed out. But it's not just grim for grim's sake. Those characters grow, they break, they rebuild, and it feels real. Wuthering Waves doesn't need to go full 18+, but even at 16+, it could borrow that playbook. Compare that to something like Genshin Impact, which, let's be honest, its 12+ rating keeps it tethered to hero save the day vibes. I'm on repeating everything that is happening. Power of friendship prevails. Sometimes the stakes are high, but the good guys always pull through with a sparky cutscene. Wuthering Waves could ditch that entire safety net. The potential is already there, and that is exciting. Give me a Wuwa story where I can cry for real, not just because I lost the 50-50 to yet another Lin Yang. But of course, it's not all rosy. A higher rating doesn't promise death. Some games could slap on more fan service and call it mature. And yeah, I get that Kuro could fumble this entirely. Not everyone is buying the optimism, and they have got reasons worth hearing out. If we're gonna talk about this and see the big picture, we need to wrestle with the skepticism, not just brush it off. Now, first up, there's this big fear that this rating change isn't about freeing up creativity, it is about slapping handcuffs on it. A lot of fans are side-eyeing Kuro games, convincing they're bowing to Chinese regulations. CCP's got Kuro on a leash. It is not a crazy thought, I get it. China's content laws are no joke. Kuro's been savvy about balancing markets before. I mean, look at their track record with punishing Grey Raven. China got stricter edits, sure, but global players still had their share of bold designs and themes. There's no hard proof the 16+ rating is a smokescreen for censorship. It could just as easily be Kuro signaling that they're ready to push boundaries in a way China's rules don't dictate. I mean, a post-apocalyptic world doesn't exactly scream play it safe, am I right? Maybe we're jumping to doomsday when we should be waiting for the next patch notes. And there is this thing of unmet expectations. Wuthering Waves was hyped up as the new kid who would shake up the gacha scene, a Genshin killer, not just another clone of sparkly heroes and cookie-cutter plots. Fans wanted grit, designs with teeth, or in this case, I guess designs with tongue, am I right? Themes that lean into the game's end-of-the-world aesthetic. And now some are grumbling that Kuro is going soft, and this rating bump feels like a step toward Genshin 2.0 instead of something fresh. But playing it safe doesn't mean boring. A 16+ rating isn't a promise of plan. It's a chance to carve out a niche that is less about chasing Genshin's rainbow and friendship vibe, and more about leaning into Wuwa's darker roots. Kuro has shown that they can weave lore that is heavy. Just look at punishing Grey Raven. If they are playing it safe, it might just mean that they're dodging the fan service trap to focus on substance. Another worry is about the player base getting squeezed. Gacha games live or die with their crowds, and let's be honest, a ton of these players are teenagers sneaking polls with their parents' money. A 16+ rating could lock them out, or at least make parents raise an eyebrow at the App Store. That is not just a feels problem, it is a business one. Maybe 15 to 30% of the audience could dip if the younger players can't join in, and that is not pocket change when you're up against giants keeping their 12+ rating gates wide open. But here's the pushback. Gacha fans aren't just kids. Whoa, mind-blowing. And the genre is glowing up with its players. I mean, look at games like, I don't know, Arknights. Its darker tone and higher stakes pull in an older crowd without alienating the core. Wuthering Waves could tap into that, building a loyal base that is here for the story and vibes, not just shiny JPGs. Plus, there is plenty of teens still play mature games by slipping past the App Store checks. I mean, sorry, right parents out there? 16+ just means my little brother lies about his age again. Kuro is probably banking on that, and honestly, they might not lose as much as we think. These worries aren't baseless. They are scars from a genre that has burned us before, but I'm not ready to call game over on Wuthering Waves' potential. The 16+ rating could be less about dodging censors and more about chasing a vision that has got some actual weight. Kuro's got a chance to swing big here, and I'm actually betting they know the stakes are higher. But let's tie it all together, right? Here we are at the end of this wild ride through Wuthering Waves' big drama. What have we learned? Gacha games are a mess of contradictions. Nobody blinks at a mechanic that could empty your bank account, but tweak one outfit, bump the rating up to 16+, and suddenly it is pitchfork o'clock. War! War! Yet buried under the shouting, there is a spark of something exciting. This change could nudge Wuthering Waves towards stories that don't just dazzle us with shiny PNGs, but actually take risks. Something like Limbus Company's Brutal Stakes. Not another round of buy this peach skin. Or maybe we can use a Changli peach skin, let's be honest here. The real question isn't whether Kuro is censoring their soul away, it is whether we as players are ready for gacha games to grow up and give us narratives that hit like an Asian parent when you get a B+ at math. I am curious about what you all think though. Should games like Wuthering Waves stick to the safe 12+ formulas that keep everyone happy and the cash flowing, or should they take a chance on their darker, more mature stories that might not please the crowd but could leave us talking for years? Drop your thoughts in the comments, but for now, that is all from me, 𝗖cie𝗽𝗆𝗿𝗵𝗁, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!